So the recordings has started. So today we'll be covering the LTMC session. I have two things for you: LTMC for BP supplier and LTMC by material. So for materials, we'll not use in all projects because it has some custom developments. Material will have some custom fields like, for example, my project is using the FLM number, or they might be using some classification views that are made mandatory for the per division or per functioning area. Second, okay, join right. Okay, so in LTMC, what happens is you migrate the data. So LTMC is nothing but the migration cockpit. It is given by SAP S4 HANA. So the difference, when we were counting the difference of ECC and S4 HANA differences, project like system differences, then the major thing in the SAP migration cockpit was the difference that they introduced LTMC. So SAP S4 HANA has LTMC and LTMOM that they were introduced newly. Then the LSMW, which was pre-existing, to transfer the data from your legacy system to the SAP system. So it was already pre-existing, right? Now in S4 HANA, you already have the LSMW, LTMC, and LTMOM. So this is just a migration cockpit. Why is the name migration cockpit? Because you will have the implementation or the migration projects. In migration projects, you will have Excel or the paper. This will be a digitalized copy, right? You have paper. So I remember when I went to my project's location, so there were big bundles of PDF. So I was just out of the trainee category. So I just landed as a consultant. So the delivery manager told me to scan the PDF copies. There were bundles, big bundles piled up, like 2.5 feet of bundles were there. So all these Excels, all these papers were needed to be digitalized. So these PDFs were rewritten. They were given us to in a format that was Excel supported. Then Excel was refined. The data was refined. Then the LTMC was started. So LTMC is nothing but your legacy transfer migration cockpit. So this is a cockpit that has predefined SAP templates. So this is how one template looks like. So this is one template for Alpha company code that I downloaded. So currently, this system that TaxSkills have, it doesn't support LTMC because of some unobvious reasons. There's a connection issue. So I'll be using it for my quality server. I'll be uploading all this data in the quality server. So I've already prepared the template. I've already done everything. I'll explain you one by one. This will save us at least 30 minutes. So I have given only five vendors. These are real vendors. So we'll be testing on these vendor names. Okay. So all these vendors will go in our system. They will have separate roles. They'll have the company code data, everything, all the data I'll explain. So we'll start with here. So first, let's get into the basics. So why do we need it, right? All these paper, if you leave the old data, what will happen? If you leave the old data, there is no material master. One problem is there will be no material master. Okay, there will be no vendor master. There will be no transactional data. So transaction data, by that I mean, there will be no open POs. There will be no open contracts. Okay, let's suppose you have a cutover date of 31st March 2024. Okay, 2024, 31st March, you have a cutover date. So any data or any PO or any contracts that is pre-existing in the SAP system, you guys are able to see my screen, right? If there is any issues, please let me know in the voice or in the presentation.
Yes, Aman, we are able to see.
Okay, fine. If there are any cutover data, let's say your date is 31st March 2024. So what will happen? After the cutover, the system will go live. By go live, it means that all the data that is after the 31st March, that is from 1st April till years to come, every data should be in the transactional form, and it should be entered by the end user. So the end user will come, they will do manual entry, they'll create a material master, they'll do ME21N, they'll make printouts. Anything is possible in the SAP system. So how will it be possible? It will be done by It will be done only when there is the previous data. So how the previous data will come? So there was one question that was asked by in the EY interview, sorry, in the Deloitte interview to one of my friends from Paxos Group. So they asked, let's say you have the old data, right? You have the transition data from a legacy system. Now you need to transfer, and the cutover date is 31st March. So what will you transfer? So we will transfer the material. Material is also called as product. So as we explained in the S4HANA session, material is called as product. Vendor is called as supplier. So when we'll search a template by supplier name. Then open POs will be transferred. Then open contracts. So all the POs that will have that were made before the 31st, that is the cutover, that were made before the cutover date and are still existing after the cutover date will only be transferred. Any PO, any contract that is null and void, like that has exceeded the quantity, or that has reached the limit of the value contract or the quantity contract, will not be transferred. Any pending invoices, any GRs left, all these are considered in the open PO category. So all these will be carried from the legacy system, that is your Excel or digitalized paper. Then it will be converted into the LTMC format, and Excel format. Then it will be uploaded in the LTMC Excel sheet. So it's a LTMC is a XML format. Okay. So let me write .xml format. So LTMC will be converted into the XML format and uploaded into the system. So when it is uploaded, it is uploaded via the LTMC T code. Okay, this is the T code LTMC. So let me go here. Okay, so if I type LTMC, so it will open some browser, that is your Edge. So this is my NetWearer server. As you can see, this is my quality 210. This is my training client. So I can change this here. Second. So every time I, 1 second, I think there is some typo. Okay. So when I open this, it will open me to the migrate your data. This is my application. So this will open my LTMC migration cockpit. These are my available projects. So every time I upload, all these will include MMFI. You can see FICO master data. You can see inventory upload, right? Vendor master. All this will be the migration data, right? So this is nothing but your migration cockpit. It will have material master, vendor master, open PO, open contracts. Now there will be certain steps, right? Every time you upload a file, it will not work. Why it will not work? Because there will be errors. So I'll tell you in a very short, descriptive and detailed process that how you'll upload data and what are the errors that will come. So sometimes you will get errors that there is a key called India, right? When you create the country, when you have the system country, India, there is a ISO code attached to this India country. So sometimes you'll get ISO errors if you are working in this environment of your testing data, right? This training systems, if you're working, somebody might change the company code key. Somebody might change your country's key, or they'll change the ISO codes, or they'll change the taxation procedure. All these taxation procedure and these conditions will impact your master data upload. So whenever you are practicing, there will be a lot of errors that will come. You just don't need to worry about that. So we'll create one vendor upload card for our company. So this will be the name of our project, 1001 Alpha vendor upload. So we'll use this, the name. Then we'll, after uploading, after checking if there are any errors, right? If there are any errors, that will come on the top. Then we will transfer into staging tables. So what are staging tables? So these staging tables are nothing but it will transfer the data from the Excel to the temporary store database of the file. So it can be temporary stored database of the LTMC. So it can be analyzed and it can be activated. So after simulation, we'll click on migrate. So there is a step called activate. Okay, after you upload the template, it is activated, right? So there are 12 steps that one by one we will check, and if you activate, it will confirm the mapping. So this transfer is the major process. So the template that I have, this had almost I think 88 fields were there for the vendor general data. Okay, so I have reduced it to 5. So this is very time taking process, right? So when you transfer, SAP runs a background job for mapping. They'll map under the background job. Then it will only impact in the test data, right? After the mapping values, when you complete the transfer, then it will actually transfer the data. Then it will make entries in the system. By this time, it will not make entries. When you start the transfer, it will not make any entries in the SAP system. But when you simulate and transfer, it is the last step. In this step, it will make the entries. System will make entries in the 10th step. So we'll try to cover all these steps. Then there is one more thing I would like to add in LTMOM. So if you make any changes, right? As I said, in Material Master, there will be custom changes, right? So there is a FLM attachment, or there might be some classification views. There might be some additional data that your client demands necessarily that cannot be filled by the master code. Okay, these requirements cannot be filled by the master codes. So like MM17 and all these other XK99 for the vendor master. In that case, LTMOM will be used. LTMOM is like you will need a ABAP person for the customized entry for PO. You will need a ABAP person. They will make a PDC recording, or they'll make a LTMOM changes. LTMOM changes are very time consuming. So in my current project, I have used customized PO upload. So we have made ZMM_PO_upload program. This is the BDC program. So BDC is nothing but they will use certain BAPIs. BAPIs are your business APIs for uploading the data, or for rewinding, not rewinding. Okay, so it's like a reversal of the upload of data. Okay, so you can upload the data or you can take back the data, right? Like when you cancel the PO, you can use ME mass PO. So that T code will help you to delete or make changes to the existing entries of the PO. Likewise, when you have BDC recordings, so currently I have BDC recordings for inventory, the POs, and this transactional data. So when in the case of Excel, when you handle Excel, there might be some errors that the end user has given the wrong entries. There might be some different mapping. So you might need to re-upload the inventory. So we did 561 initial inventory 561 with BDC recording. So every template, everywhere you go in any of the implementation projects or any of the migration projects, there will be a BDC program that is custom made for you guys, and it will be developed by a professional. Okay, a senior consultant will, one second. Okay, a senior consultant will handle your developments of the project. So in that case, there will be a BDC program. But for the standard, we'll always use LTMC whenever there is any changes to the standard LTMC. It will be called LTMOM. As in the case of customized PO, so PO might have a customer data tab, right? Customer data tab will be there. Customer data tab, like your existing contract number or the old contract number, or there might be some third-party portal integration. Like let's say there is some e-marketplace, right? Government e-marketplace. Then from there, your client is procuring services or materials. So the lowest L1 bidder will be awarded the contract. So they will have some linkage. So in those cases, you will have this customized PO, this LTMM, that is needed to be uploaded via the LTMM T code. So LTMM will require the help of the ABAP team. It is very typical to do, and it is very time consuming. So we'll always avoid LTMM. I have always tried to avoid LTMM. So my work is majorly done with LTMC or BDC program. We don't even use LSMW because LSMW can be used once, but BDC is a recurring. So once this program BDC recording is done, BDC program recording. Okay, this is a recording. Recording. See. DIG. Okay, so this is a recording template. This ABAP team will be doing this. So once this is done, BDC program, you can reuse with the template provided by the ABAP team. Okay, it can be reused. This is the advantage of BDC. LTMC, it's a template that is given in the migration cockpit. Right here, we have it. So I'll be showing you the template and we'll be creating one project. After the creation of project, we will upload a supplier. Okay, so let's get to our PDF. So this is what is written here. So it contains relevant information from the source and the target structures. So there is a relationship in all target structures. Okay, then legacy transfer migration cockpit is the full form of this. Then it is the most suitable approach for your project. So why it is there? Because it can hold 200 MBs of data, 200 MBs. So as of this Excel, one second, let me save. Okay, let's go. Let's go to the properties. I have filled only 5 entries, right? This is 466 kV. Earlier it had 88 entries or 82 entries. It was only 800 kbs. So when you check in the terms of data storage, LTMC is by far the best. Okay, so if you upload via the files, if you directly upload an Excel, it is much better. If you upload via the staging tables, it has no limit. Staging tables are the internal tables that will hold your data and it will upload to the HANA database. Okay, so if you have this system, you can use it on any system, right? If you have a GUI, it will work anywhere. It is just a browser. It is a link of the browser. So it has no data consideration, no system consideration. You can only use a HANA database for the staging system. Data provisioning, you will use XML format. That is what I wrote in the notes also, that it is used in the XML format, .xml. So you'll need to use Office. So if you don't have Office, Microsoft Office, you need to install that first. Then there is Agile data system. You need to fill tables manually or by the preferred tools. Okay, now you have all these parameters that are needed to be filled. I will not go into much details, but let's go to the steps. So if you want to fill in the BP, business partner, you need to go to LTMC. The browser will open the Fiori application. So this is our Fiori application that is right here. You need to create a migration project. After you create, you'll need to search. Okay. Okay, so this is just a project name. They have written the project name, transfer data from file or the staging tables. So we'll not use the staging tables. We have prepared an Excel. We'll only use the Excel format. So this is day retention. This is a retention time, that how much time will be required by the system to create your data. Okay, so till what time it should cut off. Let's say you have a lot of data, right? Let's say you have thousands of vendors coming right into your system from a old ECC system to you have migration to your HANA system. So I want this to continue for next 10 days, 5 days, like this. This is a data retention time. How many days will it take to transfer my data, right? So everyone will know that like you can separate into batches. So what we did in the initial phase was we had approximately 1050 or 1500 something around that data was there. Currently we have 4000 vendors. So all in all, what we did was we separated the batches into 250 each. So if you do that, it will happen in the time of 1 hour or 2 hours. So if there is more data, this system will take time, right? There will be some data that is going in the background, any other uploads by any other module leads. So that will take a lot of time. So to reduce or minimize the activity, these data retention times are set to 1 day only. Then when you click on create, it will give you which object you need to go. So there is a supplier. So we'll go just right there. Then after the 6th step, we'll continue back. Okay, so here is my LTMC. This is how it opened. So I'll go and create, then I'll search, right? If I search right here, it will show me the old ones. So I'll go create, click on create. Now I'll have the name, right? So we save the name somewhere here. So this is my vendor upload. So this is my project name. So I'll put the name here. This will be my permanent name. So I'll put the transfer file here. Then there will be mass transfer ID. I'm not sure what this ID is. I'll just click on create. Okay, it will take some time. It will load. Now we have this on-premise management scope. Then if I don't put time, it is already there, right? I'll go and click on supplier. SUPPLIER. Okay. So as I said, if I don't click on supplier, right, what will happen? The name was changed to your supplier. If I put vendor, it will not come, right? If I put vendor, there will be no templates for vendor. Always remember to use the latest names that are there. If I search material, it will, okay, some other materials are there, like profit center, material condition pricing. But if I select product, like this, product will come, right? Product classification, materials, product compliance, all this will come. Based on the new materials, you can use this, right? Okay, so supplier, we'll go with our supplier only. So this is my project. Under this project, it is saying that not started, migration status not started. So it will guide us through every step. Now let's go and fill our supplier. Okay, 1 second, it is still loading. So after clicking, it will take some time because the data will not always be readily available. So it is saying that in order to facilitate a transfer, you need to copy a migration project. So this will take some time. So okay, it will take some time to load. So we can check the PDF meanwhile. So when I click on create, it will open some project, right? So what we did was we click on create, we search the supplier, then this warning came that it will take some time. After this, we need to go to download template. I've already downloaded one template and filled it. I will also share one template with you guys. How will download? How will we practice on this templates? Okay, so okay, after downloading this template, this XML file will come. Anywhere there is a star, okay, anywhere there's a star, it will be asked as mandatory field. So it's a pre-filled template, and the data variations are also there. Based on business, it is available. So my business has some mandatory fields like the address key or the email ID is mandatory. So I will have to fill all those details. So I know how to bypass these details. So we'll go check all these field list first. So this is today's date, I guess. Okay, 12/4/2024. So this is what I downloaded today. Then I filled all these sheets. So my version is S4 Core 104. This is the version that you will always see there. Then the most important aspect is our vendor. So what is the key? The key will always be this letter, right? P 5 times 0 1. So you can count all these digits. It's a 5. It will be 5 zeros then 1. So if I have the 7th or 8th item, I'll always select like this. Why there is this key? So there's a concept called foreign key and primary key. Some of you guys might know, some of you guys might not. Okay, so there is a thing called foreign key, right? Foreign key concept. I'll go to the images first. It's much better this way. Okay, so in a database, what happens is any identifier that is used to identify the tables, the cells of the table, is known as the primary key. So this is a primary key. But with any other tables identifier, if I can identify other fields, let's say this ID has the name Sarah. So if I want to find how much marks this Sarah got, so I will use this identifier as primary key. This will be the foreign key for this, and this will be the end result. That Sarah got 65 marks and Samir got 73 marks. So this is the foreign key concept. This is a linkage. It will be very useful how to link, right? So this is a linkage that is shown here. So this is the key. This key as I said, this key will be used in the BP roles. So we have two BP roles. I'll also tell all these templates how I felt. Then whichever field has star, right? All these fields are mandatory. BP grouping is mandatory. Vendor is mandatory. The name, we have to fill the name. It is mandatory by our system. Okay, so I'll show how to fill and what fields are need to be filled to make it error free. So there will be no errors while we fill. Okay, so we have BP grouping, vendors, BP grouping mandatory for the sheet. They have already written what are mandatory. This is the pre-filled template. Okay, then we'll have the names. So name one is always the mandatory thing. You can make it without name 2, 3, 4. Then there are for second name. This is not relevant. General data. So in my system, we have made search term 1 as mandatory. So we'll fill the search term 1. Okay, other data are organizational data, payment, external BP if there is any. So we will not fill this, it is not mandatory. Then tax calculation, let's go to India. So under India, we have PAN reference number is there, and there is GST in number. Okay, I'm not able to, yeah, verify vendor classification for GST. So this field is mandatory. If you are using the vendors for India, this GST and PAN is mandatory. It will be mandatory per role. Okay, so we have already made it mandatory. Then under address, the streets, district, postal code, country. So in standard SAP, country is mandatory. So all these data are already there. So let's get back here. You can download a template. So if I download one template, so it will say, okay, we want to open, and click on save and open, allow. Okay, currently it is showing me this, that in my downloads, I'm unable to see this. Okay, let me check my downloads first. I'll cut, paste here. So if I open, it is still showing like this. Let me open this in XML handler. So this is Microsoft Office. You can get a free version of Microsoft Office. This will work in all the cases. So what will it do? It will open one this. Okay. It will open another this. This is our English supplier. So our language is English. This will the same sheet will come. Right, we need to enable editing and make it unprotected. All this will be there, so you'll know which fields are there. Right, per sheet they have given that this is mandatory, vendor is mandatory, the key is mandatory, the country is mandatory. All this is there. You need to make language communication as English. So this is a very good question that is asked in the SAP certification exam 2022. This was one question that I remember. So recently I was practicing for this. So they asked what is mandatory to make. So in the vendor. So this is one thing. Language is mandatory. Okay, company, the country is mandatory. Then the vendor, this key. If you migrate, then the key is mandatory. All these general text ID is mandatory. If you want, you can fill, right? Company code. You can go through this sheet. It goes on and on. So this company code, vendor ID, if you want to extend it to the FI role, the company code will mandatory. If you want to purchase, extend it to the vendor purchasing, this purchasing org will mandatory. All these are mandatory fields. So we'll look at one by one. So right now I've made email address also mandatory. So I'll have to go to the last of this. There is one communication data. I've not filled it here. Contract person. So there will be email somewhere. So I'll make some random emails there, and I'll put this email address. Okay. So under the contact information, everything is mentioned in the first sheet. It is very easy if you go step by step. So we'll not work on this sheet. We'll close this. I've already this upload alpha QA alpha. So we can change the name also. So this is my quality system. That is why I will do. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so when we upload a file, we just need to click here, upload file. Then there will be steps. If you want to activate, start transfer. After activating, errors will be there. We need to rectify the transfers. Okay, so we'll first go to the Excel, then we'll start mapping. So here you can see Till here, are there any doubts? I forgot to ask you guys. Are there any doubts till here? Any issues? Please let me know, guys, so I can move forward. Because if this base is not clear, we will not be able to learn. Raj, Kumar, Kritika, Anuradha, Guru Raj, Abdul. Any doubts?
Nothing as of now, Aman.
Okay, so this was basic theory. You just need to fill Excel. I am explaining in very detail. Uh, the way that my senior explained, I'm trying to explain much better than him. So just ask me whenever you feel any issues are there. So I didn't knew the foreign key concept back then, but this foreign key concept will help you in building the tables, the SQBI, the quick view, and this SE16H when you join two tables. So it is much better when you do the reporting and the table manipulation when you take out the data. So this will be helpful, this foreign key and the candidate key concept. Okay. So let's get back 1 second. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. Let's get back. So in our Excel, the first thing that is key. So this is the key. So what key is? I've already explained. You need to map. I have given a very short example. Okay, we need to map it, right? I'll put some dots in every last because this might be a written entry. We have already uploaded this, or we can change some names like last name or anything. So in the keys, we'll need to map the entries with this. So this is the first entry, P 5 times 0 1. This is the universal format. Even if you go somewhere else, even if you check, I think in this presentation they'll have the keys. 1 second. Okay, they've only explained the data. Okay, so you can map all these texts. There is a text field, I guess. It is a text field only. 1 second. Okay, this is a text. Okay, this is a text field. You can fill anything. You can fill anything. You can fill your name, then you can fill 1. So how I did was I mapped with P. P means the this was the plant. Okay, if the name starts as A, you can start with A. You can start with B. Anything. So just to make sure that these keys are linked properly, how I showed you the example of the SARA numbers. So this first sheet is needed to be linked with the BP roles. So first system what will do is it will create the general data, it will make the vendor. Then it will open the BP roles, it will make FLVN 00 role, then FLVN 01. So this will be your purchasing and your FI role. So likewise, then they'll go and map the address, they'll go and map the company code data. So every step will be done by the system one by one, right? So to enable the system to get the proper mapping, we need to put a certain number that is a key. So this will be unique. So I have only used 5 examples. Then as you remember, so we created one grouping that was domestic vendors for alpha, right? In the initial BP phase, first phase, we created one BP that was the domestic grouping. You can also make the one-time vendors, but I think one-time vendors are only 4 or 5 per company. Per plant it is 1. So for every plant they'll create their own one-time vendor, just for the purpose of RFQ, getting RFQ for multiple suppliers. Okay, so this BP grouping, you will have your own BP grouping. You'll know what grouping is. You might have defined it. So currently we have ZDOM. Then your name. So this is Aditi Tools and Travels, Agra Computers, some private limited power supply. Okay, all these will be your enterprises that are registered with your company or the data that you need to transfer. If there is a name too, if there is a second name, let's say Agra Computers, then it goes like SO or son of or like this, or this Akansa, what is this? Akansa Enterprises. I think spelling mistake is there. Okay, Akanksha Enterprises. Then there will be something else, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, or some other name. Name will be there XYZ. You can map this name to in this columns. So it will only map the name 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever field is mentioned. Then there will be titles. So for companies, we don't have titles, right? And it is not mandatory. So we'll not fill this. So this is the supplier person. So when you click on one column, they have already joined it. You can see this is merge and center. So the title will be only for the supplier name, supplier person. If they have a middle name, first name, last name, birth name, all these will be mapped into the supplier person, your employee supplier. So the supplier person will be your employee supplier. I think everyone knows what an employee supplier is. So employee supplier is the person that is working under the company. So he will be having as an end user. Okay, so he will be end user. Basically, it's a JE. It's a concept of JE, supply employee supplier. So that JE will be there, and what they will do is they will buy the materials for the company with the amount given to him. Okay, so this can also be created here. Then comes the search term. So we have mentioned their tax codes, the search term 1, 2, 3, whatever search term is there. Okay, so I'll put dots so it doesn't get overlapped. Okay, then we have mentioned the tax code. So this is the tax code of the original companies right here. Then when we go to the general data, we don't have to fill anything. Just go a little right. All these, this is just the payment transition. So we'll not fill anything right now. This is the tax calculation for Brazil. So we'll not fill the Brazil one. We'll go to India's tax. Okay, country specific extension India. So this is the PAN number that I was talking about earlier. So this PAN is mandatory in my project. So per role, we have made PAN mandatory in every business partner. If you extend it to FI vendor, then this PAN will come into the picture. So this is how we track all the vendors in the reporting part. So this is PAN permanent account number. Then we'll go to street address. This is the address key. So when you scroll, everything will be there. Okay. So this is the address key. Now this address key is like what street is there, what district are they from. So this is from Kanpur, Agra. All these vendors are there. Country, city, you know all these, right? Then there are state codes. So what is the code of our state? So there will be certain mapping in our system that will define the state codes. Let me open one BP real quick. Okay, so sorry, BP. Then we'll go to our vendor one. Okay, 1 second. Subcon was there. So this is one vendor subcon. I check this is not the vendor subcon. Search term. Subcon star. Okay, so this vendor came that this is what we used in our sessions. So this is one country specific region, right? So you'll have your regions defined. So these are predefined. So we used what region? We used 24 for Uttar Pradesh. So you'll know all these regions. There is a specific KDS for this, or you can use this Excel. You can transfer it to your spreadsheet. Then you can map, right? All these will be given to you in a separate template, so you can map it from the tables. Okay, let's go back. So this will be the state. There is no need to put time zone, transportation zone. All these are redundant fields. You can skip all these. Then there is a language key. So this is one question that was asked in SAP exam that I told about. EN, English key, is very important for the language key if you want to maintain here. Then if you have phone number telephone, you can put the telephone number. So I have put the telephone number. Then if you want to the blocking data, if you want to block these vendors, let's say all the data is there in the transportation. What the company is doing is all the data that you have uploaded, they will hire a third party, like some info company. They'll hire. Then they'll say that we have uploaded the data. Now you need to check. So this auditing party, what they will do is whatever data you have audited or uploaded via the LTMC, they'll go and check. How will they check? They will go to the LFA1 table or LFP1 tables. They'll check what is the purchasing block. Is there a central purchasing block? Is there a purchasing block for the purchase organization? Have they created this? Okay. So you can also use this field in those cases when you are uploading and there is an auditing party who needs to audit the data. So in the reports, you can fetch all these data by the block. Okay, all these vendor blocks are there. Let's go to the BP roles. So I have mapped 5 keys. Okay, first consider these 5 keys. So each role, FLVN 00. So this was our role for the vendor. Okay, so this is our role, FLVN FI vendor. This was our role for FI vendor. Then 01 is for our purchasing. So likewise, in SD when they'll upload, they'll use the customer. So per role you need to extend. So if I put the customer role also, it will get extended to the customer role also. But then I'll need to maintain other entries also. So I'm not using the customer role right now. So per 5 entries, I have to maintain twice. Okay, will not. Sometimes what people do is they'll click here, right? It will map in the sequence. It should not do it like this. You should not do it like this. Control Z. Okay, what will happen is first the system will go in the background job. They will create all these roles, FLVN 00, and they'll go FLVN 00. Sorry, FLVN 01 will create it. Then we'll go to additional data. Here we don't need to maintain any external address because all these external address is not there, right? It is not needed for our system. You can skip general text. You can also skip. This is already there. We have used English as language key. All this text is not required. Then we'll go to company code data. So this is my client. Okay, so I'm using their server just for the purpose of testing. So this is our vendor. This is the company code we are using. This is the reconciliation account. So after the reconciliation account, we'll go a little right. Under the company code data, there are some mandatory fields, right? What are the mandatory fields? You can find it right here. Okay, so it's not mandatory. Okay. So in company code data, we only need to fit company code, the vendor, the key, and the reconciliation account is only there. I think the payment terms, sometimes, yeah, terms of payment. Sometimes some people, what they do is they will make the terms of payment mandatory in the vendor master or check double invoice. So what will the check double invoice? I think it is there in the PDF. They might have given check double invoice. So there is one tick for check double invoice. It's not here. So what they'll do is they'll put a cross here. What is check double invoice? I go here under FI vendor. There is one thing called check double invoice. So what it does is it helps in the vendor. I think vendor status is there. Oh, not there. Okay, this is a tick for check double invoice. So if I click on F1, it will show me the technical details. So if I have already input one invoice, this will not make the duplicate entry for the invoice. It will show an error, and this will be used based on vendor currency, company code, reference document, and invoice document date. These are the key fields that it will check another gross amount. So if you change one paisa, if you change the company code, if you change currency, it will not work. But in most of the cases, for the same vendor, for same currency company, this will be same. So you can also maintain this field. This is one of the most important fields when you go for good project levels. So currently it is not mandatory here. We have not made mandatory, but we can check that. Okay, so we can put X here. Let's say what happens. Okay, if you put X, it means activate. Okay, then there are no other fields that are important. Then we can go to the next tab, that is company text. So we don't need company text anything like that. We'll go to the purchasing order. So this is my purchasing order, 1000. In my order currency vendor, then there's no minimum order value. It will be 0 for default days, right? If I want automatic PO, then the X will be needed. I'm not using automatic PO, no returns, no ERS. Nothing is required. So I just need to create the vendors. That is it. So these are there. Then the partner functions. We don't need to create the partner functions because, as you guys know, under the FLVN 01 role, we already have all these partner functions readily available. So whenever this is created in the session of the BP, the third session, I have already given. Okay, I'm not sure why it is method. Okay, let me also go. So if I come here in the partner function, I'll click on transfer. Okay, all this will be there, right? I have already defined it per company code when we defined it. it will readily come. Otherwise, I'll have to make all these entries manually, right? This partner function config was told to you in the BP session. So we don't need to make it. In any time this organization data will come, this partner function will already be defaulted. Let's say you want to make any other partner function that is not here. We have good supplier, all these, okay, invoicing. Now we want freight supplier, okay. I think the code is FS. So if we want that additional here, then we can put FS, then all these fields will be mandatory. Now purchasing text, there's no text that we need. Then the bank details. So this is empty. So we are not creating bank details. Why? Because first the bank master is needed to be created. This is one thing that IBAN, and I think the bank control key is there. Bank control account key. This is IFSC code, bank keys, India, and all those vendors are needed to map. If I don't, if I skip this, the system will not show any errors. It will just not create the bank account. It will not create my bank account. Okay. The bank master is needed to be there. That is why I remove this. This is the part of FI. They'll create the bank account keys. The banking keys will be needed with the payment details, right? All these bank details will be there, like which account holder name is there, on which state the bank is there. So I'm not having those bank keys. So that is why I've left this. But in real case, in the real project environment, you will have all these banking keys. These details will be there. Then comes the industry. We don't need any industries. Tax numbers. This is IN3 category. Let me show you the tax numbers. Okay, let's go back to our general data. In the general data, we have tax numbers and the payment, identification. Identification is there. So under here, we have IN3 as our category, right? This is IN3, Indian tax category. You can also check with the tax in, you can also check in the tax in. Okay, this is one. Where is that? Okay. IN3 is Indian GST number. This is already given for the Indian vendors by the SAP system. So this is my tax number. That is what I want to upload. So for the 5 vendors, I have uploaded the tax numbers. Then if there are any identification numbers, if any, you can put, right? Like is it for military use? You can use it for the identification numbers, or this is external BP numbers also. So this can be any ID that is with a credit agency. Credit agency means like you are a part of a club, right? In the UK, you have all these cards, all these associations are there. I'm aware about the lawyer association, I guess. So they'll have some external cards. External BP number will be there. There will be they'll have a responsible institution. They'll have a credit agency who will give you cards, right? Or the MSME will be there. So these identification numbers can be maintained here, and you can also map the same here. So this is one linkage. Then the contact. So you have vendor, the contact ID, and all these emails. Email is in the last. Then the state, country, all this contact address will be there. So if you fill anything, you will have to make all these entries. Okay, so right now I'm not filling anything. So let's go. We'll click on save. Yes, I need to click. Okay, so this is our QA Alpha Excel. So we'll click on save again. Close this. If we open the system, we'll consider that we'll still making changes. We'll close this and we'll not close this. So we'll upload the file. So we'll upload the file. We'll click on browse. Then on browsing, I'll go to my file. Second. There are a lot of files. What my file is? It was in the desktop only. Okay. This Alpha QA supplier. I'll click on open. Then I'll click the en_supplier alpha. Okay. So just this upload. So when I click on upload, it will take some time. Then it is saying not active. So what we need to do, we need to select this. On selecting this button's got activated. If I get any errors, I'll have to delete it. I'll have to go back to the source files. I'll have to delete this. If any errors are there, I cannot go ahead. I'll have to restart from the scratch. So you can see the data is only 42 KBs, right? Okay, let's go back to our PDF real quick. So what they have done is they have uploaded the file, activate, transfer, validate, simulate. So we'll go We'll follow these steps. We'll take 5 more minutes. Then we'll end. Okay. So upload, then activate. On activating, after activating, it will say start transfer. Now you can see it is activated, right? So you can see the migration status also. But first it was like not started, now it is in progress. So we'll click on start transfer. It is giving a warning. I'll click on continue. Okay. So after okay, this is getting me to the guided configuration. So this is a guided activity for LTMC. After the latest 2021 patch, they have given this. They have made this faster a little. So earlier it used to take a lot of time. I think half an hour was there for 10, 12 items only. So we used to do it manually. This was very time consuming. So now after this S4 HANA latest patch upgrade in my system, so they have given all these 4 steps. Now there are only 4 steps. After the upgrade, you will have the data transfer if there are no errors. So we'll go back. You can run in background or you can work. Sometimes what happens is you can copy this link, you can paste in your browser, and you can work. So sometimes what is happening, if you click on run in background, we'll work on some other tiles, then it will not go away, it will stay there. Okay. So if you close this, then it will go away. So you don't need to close this. Okay, let's get back to the PPT PDF. If anyone wants to leave, they can leave. I'll just share the recording and you can also check the PDFs also. This BP and the Metal Master. Then let's get back. Okay, so here we have data. Once the data is transferred, error free, just need to click next. Everything will be done. Here they have shown the green symbols. We will also get the green symbols. We just need to click check. Everything is automated here. So the only process that is time consuming is your template filling. So once the template is filled, then you will click on next, and after next you will finish. That's it. After finish, this is done. So it is very easy, very simple. Nothing is needed to be done. Just the template is needed to be filled properly. So my sole purpose of all this was to make sure how to fill the template and how to get it error free. So we are still on the 18th step. Okay. So after this, we'll click on close. We'll click on close. Okay. Activity has started. Now this is just information. I have shown you very, very smoothly how to do this. This is just the information. If you have any errors, okay, if you have any errors, you'll get here. There are no errors, only information. So what I will do is, it will only take 5 minutes, right? So we'll click on next. On next, it is error free, right? I'll click on next. It will convert the values. You can see the second step, convert values. So now it is showing me red, right? So what I'll do, I'll confirm mapping. So what mappings are needed to be done? Confirm mapping values. So all these is need to be ticked in green, right? I can open it directly, or I can confirm mapping, or I can process task. Okay, 1 second. Process task. No integration. I'll check. Click on check. Then the customizing was needed to be set. 1 second. Customizing. So something is wrong. There should be no integration. 1 second. If there are any errors, then let it check. Then this was supposed to automatically come. Okay, let me check. So this is just needed to be checked, the values, then it will automatically come. No integration, then check. So come in. Okay, fine. Just click on check, it will come to green. Click on save. All this is needed to be checked one by one. Once the status goes green, we'll just click on next, and after 2 next, it will finish. Right? If I click on confirm mapping values. Okay, earlier what was there in my project was it used to come green automatically. Process task. Internal mapping, customizing. In default, it is internal. Okay, so I'll just select, check. Not sure. Okay. I think I need to select this every time. So I think this changed a little. Earlier, what was used to do was I just need to go here to process task, and then only the check was there. So if I don't map, it will not come. So this is my code. Now I'll click on check. On clicking check, the status will go green. After this is green, I'll click here on tick, or I can click on save. All these are this works means your company code. So these IDs are needed to be checked one by one. Okay, click on save. This. Okay, this is taking a lot of time. Check, tick, save, just save. Okay, not sure why it is not saving. Okay, we'll take this at last. BP grouping. BP grouping will be Z DOM. That was already there. All this is after this is mapped, it will go directly. Check. Once checked, confirm values. Confirm values, then click on save. Okay, this happened like that, but it's not happening for company code. I need to check why. I'll try to finish all these as soon as possible. So just click here, check. Okay, we can select 2 at a time. Okay, this is also confirm values, then click on save. This is just 2 more steps that is there. Simulate import. So the simulate will make some default entries. It will also take I think 5-6 minutes in this step. Then the last step is very easy. Just need to click on finish. Process task again. Any issues you can please, let's make this interactive. You can tell if there are any issues. Guys, unmute yourself and ask for any issues.
The Excel format which you have shown, Aman.
Yeah, it
This
is there
by
in
default.
LTMC.
Yeah. So it is by default, right? All that.
Yeah, this is by
columns,
default.
all that data.
I already filled before you guys. So what we did was I showed you everything, right? All these vendor names, all this, everything. So this format I filled. This everything I filled. Just the first details were there. I'll send you the mapping template. The template that I used today, I'll send that. I'll upload in the session 2 files. Documents I'll upload. Okay.
So that format is already fixed, right?
Yeah, format is fixed. Format is fixed. I have only checked.
So there is different templates or different formats for different data, right? Like material master and vendor master.
No. Material master, if it is customized, you will know. I already told in
what you have shown to us now is business partner, right? The data related to business partner.
I did for business partner because it's much typical. It has different sheets. For material master, it is only one sheet. So I will send you the material master and business partner. This is business partner's PDF. I'll send you the material master also. Don't worry about that.
So this files from where we'll get. Can we download it from SAP itself or
LTMC projects when you make, right? Whenever you make, what I did was I uploaded in the quality. So let's say I want to make this in a real environment, in a live implementation project. What I'll do is I'll first upload it to quality. I'll ask the approval from the client. If the client says, okay, go ahead, then I'll upload in the production environment. Never upload this LTMC or LTMM or any PDC recordings directly to production because it will make a mess.
Let us say the files which you get from the non-SAP background, when the system is in non-SAP background. So when you get the files from them, it may not be the same format what you are using now. So
Correct.
We need to convert them into the same format now.
Yes, 100% yes.
All those background work has to be done.
Yes, This is like after a week I got all these templates. So
Who will
what
do that
happened is like
all that collection of data into this format?
collection data, refining data, rechecking data, re-evaluating data, getting back the confirmation from client that this data is correct. Then you have to upload, make this template, then upload. So LTMC is
All this is
always
to be
very
done
time
by
consuming.
all this is to be done by consultant only.
Yes, yes. You need to be perfect in Excel. So I know Excel formats that I don't remember, but like Excel formulas that I don't remember. So it is like every time you work in a live environment, you need to have good hands on Excel. You need to Google a lot, right? Being a part of consultancy services is like you'll have to Google a lot. You'll have to make the mappings. Everything should be picture perfect. Okay. And even if sometimes it's not, your senior will be there. I had a good senior. He covered up for me, I think, twice.
So when you get the files from the company, like the
This
client,
LTMC will get files.
so it may not be in a proper format. So you may not
Okay.
be understanding some things from those files.
Okay.
So whom we
Okay.
are going to be coordinating with regarding those
The
files
core
related
team,
to
core
the
team will be there.
information and all.
If you are working in a client for a client, there will be a core team. Okay, the core team is responsible for all the master data activities that are there, right? They'll work by your side. Okay, they'll be there to help you, so you can easily do this implementation. Okay, nobody that is investing hundreds of crores in a SAP project will not help you. They'll always be there to help you, right? You just need to ask. So when you tell that, when you tell them, so what will happen? They will be like, okay, sir, here is the file. Whatever details you need, more details, you can get back to us. So sometimes what end user does is, so my end user is very like they love a lot of colors. So they'll put red colors, green colors, and multiple shades of green. Even I didn't knew what shades of green were there. Okay, so right now it is there. Okay, let's click on next. So what they did was they made the template very colorful. I was unable to get what they were trying to say. So I had to get them back for like 4 times, 5 times. Then there were contractors, right? On field, there will be some consultants that are onshore. Right? Onshore means on the plant's location. They'll get to the client, they'll ask what is the purpose of this color coding, tell us. After confirmation only we'll get back and then we will upload the sheet. Okay, so this is
after uploading these sheets, no. See, when we directly create the business partners and material master, we will be having the material codes and vendor codes, supplier codes, right?
Okay.
We'll be having the numbers, right?
Correct.
But when you upload like this, will they take automatic numbers, or how we are going to trace this all this data? Or it will be in the file format only in the system.
No. What numbers are you talking about? I didn't get it. Question. Can you repeat
when we create separately into the system, separately, like when you create a business partner, you will give a number, right? For that, there will be a number.
Okay. So if I upload it today, right, there will be no other activities that are going on, right? So this is just a warning. This is just a warning here. You can skip that. But this email address is a required entry, ADR6. That is what I told you in the beginning, that my email address is a required entry. I've not filled this.
No, I'm not asking that one now. See, when we create a material master, we'll create the number range first, right? What the number ranges it should be. The material master should be. Then the vendor master should be what range. So these material, the number ranges we are creating first before creating the vendor master and material master, right? So when you upload these all this data into the system, so how it is going to be like how it is going to take the numbers?
Abdul, so on the third step, when on the second step when we were there, I was mapping, right? I was mapping just 5 minutes ago. You can see it is now finished. We'll go check what was uploaded. Before that, I would like to highlight here. There, when I was mapping, this vendors, are they internal or external? This was asked in the mapping, that are these number range external or internal? I was having issues with that. 1 second, let me open. Okay, so first we define the numbers, right? Will it be internal or external? So all these will be there. The general data, let's go one back. Okay, so this is the account grouping. So this number is
Mhm.
defined in the BP account grouping and the vendor account. First thing. Second thing, on the second step, it asked me for mapping that I did. All those red dots were there, right? You might not remember. Let me show you this data. Okay, all this has, if I zoom in a little, you this integration with the external system, right? This first thing. Then the second line is vendor internal or external number. Like this, there will
Yeah.
be in the material master also. I'll show you the PPT and PDFs for the material and the vendor. So they both are using
So-
this same.
So
All
when
this
we
mapping
migrate
is done.
from non-SAP to SAP, so as it is a complete new system, what we are doing now. So the numbers maybe it will take from one itself, right? 1, 2, 3 like that. It will start from one,
Correct.
right?
It will take the numbers as we give, right? When we, let's say, one second, let's say when we made our vendors, right? We created it today. Okay, so what vendors we created today? We created 5 vendors. So it will take the number range that will be created from day onwards. So created on, we'll put today's date. Let me show you the table and we'll close this session and we'll take more doubts. Okay, so all the vendors that are created today, we have finished that template. So this list output is going on. One second. So today I gave 5 vendors: Aditi Travel, this spelling mistake Akancha, there's Agra Compress. I gave a dot. Right? Why did I give a dot? There is a check in my system that if I don't put dots, here, I don't put dots as the name one, will not get created. You can check the same entry in the LFV1. LFV1 is a table for vendor company code. Okay, so these vendor got created. Now the question that Abdul asked was how the number range defined. So when I gave the internal number range, the last number range that was there, it will continue from the next vendor. This was my template. One second. This was my template, the Excel template, XML format. These were the 5 fields, right? All these 5 were there. So all these 5 are there. Now let's go back. Let's go to a BP.
So
I want to show you
one question here, Aman. We are not
Mhm.
in that Excel format. We are not readily. We are not giving the numbers, right? It is automatically taking when we upload it, right?
It is taking automatically because I gave it automatically. I gave one mapping that is internal number range should be taken.
Okay, correct. So when you give the internal mapping, then it is automatically taking.
Yeah. So okay, this was one error that came. Email ID mandatory. So let's open this up. So when I open this up, you can check email ID is mandatory. So if I make some mandatory fields and they're not there, right? They're not in the template, it will give us warning. But this is not a mandatory field. This is not the mandatory field as per the template. Okay, this template, this template is not mandatory for our master data. This last contact person, email ID is not mandatory here. You can check, right? Since this is not mandatory, the system will only give me a warning as it gave. But this is now finished. So this is finished and I have uploaded completely successfully. So we can go back, we can close the project also. This is finished in the finished status. Okay, so this is for today, today's session. I'll upload the sheet. I'll give you these PDFs that we referred to. This is just a similar PDF. All these convert values, after converting values, just click on finish and that is it. It is a very simple. You can check PPs are created or not. You can open manage business partner app. Okay, so we went to LTMC. All these are created. I can also show you one more thing, that whether or not these FI roles got created. You can check this FI vendor purchasing got created. Okay, so this vendor purchasing is maintained already. We can go to purchasing, all the data is there. Okay, the purchase order, it is there. So yeah, that's it. We can ask the doubts now.